Hey guys, what going on? It's your girl Nika of Traveling with Nika, and today we are going to be talking about some mistakes that you need to avoid when you are trying to get into the travel hacking reward travel game, however you want to call it. Travel hacking, reward travel. Listen, traveling for the low, traveling for the free, okay? Like your girl. So let's get right into it. So one of the things that I always talk about when it comes to travel hacking is making sure that you avoid any debt throughout this process of travel hacking. So for me, I have been travel hacking for over 4 years now successfully, and I have not carried a credit card balance at all since I began travel hacking. So I have always had like a pretty good handle on finances and debt. So I personally do not recommend anyone that is currently still in like credit card debt. If you are tackling and paying it down, that's really good. Continue to do that. But I wouldn't really advise you to get into the travel hacking game because you are still kind of like on the fence when it comes to credit card usage and things like that. So I would never want to advise individuals to get into travel hacking using credit cards and they are currently still trying to get out of credit card debt. So keep paying off your debt, but travel hacking may not be for you if you are tackling credit card debt, especially. And honestly, if you want more information on travel hacking, this is not the first video that I've done on travel hacking. So if you kind of want more details of like what travel hacking is, some of the other things that you should be doing when you want to get into travel hacking, I do have a specific video for that, and I will link that above somewhere there. So you can go and watch that video first and then come back to this one. Second mistake that a lot of people make is that they either don't realize the card that they are signing up for has an annual fee, and then they get caught off guard when they have to pay this annual fee, which normally you have to literally pay that like as soon as you get the card, like within that first year, right? So it will post to your account when you get approved and whatnot. Then the other thing is that if they do know that it has an annual fee, they don't track the annual fee when it's due. So for example, when the following year comes, they get this surprise bill with this annual fee because they didn't put like a reminder or anything like that. So definitely a tip would be is to set a reminder whenever you do get a new card to travel hack with. Set a reminder for at least about 1 month prior to the annual fee being posted to your account, just so that you can account for this within your budget and you don't get caught off. One of the things I want to also say is that not all cards are created equal, and I say that all the time because not all of them have annual fees. However, a lot of the really good cards have annual fees. So you can see annual fees like $69 and up, all the way to even like $695 per year. So definitely do a card that fits your travel needs, and also if it has an annual fee, it fits within your budget and you're able to kind of keep up with that annual fee, and the annual fee offsets the benefits that you are getting from this card on an annual basis. And when I say benefits, I mean that all the perks and free travel that you have with the card, it offsets what you are paying in annual fees, okay? The third mistake that a lot of people make, which is probably one of the first things that you want to do when you're choosing a card, is first understanding what are the requirements to be able to get the sign-on bonus for this credit card, right? A lot of them have very specific requirements, such as you have to spend X amount of money within X amount of time to be able to receive, let's say, 80,000 points worth of travel, right? So that could be, for example, if you are getting the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, their minimum is $4,000 spending within 3 months. So you always want to make sure that whatever card that you are choosing, you have an idea of what that minimum spend is, the time frame that you need to meet the minimum spend, and you have a plan for meeting the minimum spend within that time frame. So when I say having a plan, what I mean by that is you have already assessed that, okay, I have like an upcoming expense that would be able to help me meet this $4,000 within the 3 months. or my regular monthly expenses once I start charging them to that card and paying it off in full, because again, we are not getting into debt just to try to get these rewards. We are only putting expenses that we can afford to pay off on a monthly basis to get the credit card back to $0, right? We're not trying to be carrying a balance just to earn rewards, because it's not going to be worth the rewards with the interest that you will be getting charged on the card for leaving a balance, right? So you want to come up with a plan prior to applying for any type of reward credit cards for how you are going to meet your minimum spend. So for example, I normally would get a new card if I have like a very big purchase that I need to make, or I just have different things going on throughout those months that I'm thinking about getting to CAD, where it can add up to the minimum spend amount. So for the example I just said before, $4,000 within 3 months. So I would basically assess like, okay, what expenses would I put on this CAD that I am going to be regularly already spending for, whether that's just bills or regular spend, or I actually have a one-time, one-off purchase that's really big, you know, that's coming up that I can just charge the entire thing to, or at least it will take up majority of the minimum spend. So for example, if I know I have to purchase something that is for like $2,000 and something, that would already take up half of the $4,000 minimum spend if I was getting the card that I mentioned before with the $4,000 minimum spend. So you want to make sure that you just have an overall plan of how you are going to meet the minimum spend, and making sure that you know that the time period that you would need to meet the minimum spend in order to get the rewards. It makes no sense to apply for these cards, especially with them having annual fees and things like that, if you are unable to meet the minimum spend to get the sign-on bonus. The whole point of travel hacking this way is to earn as many points as you can, and a lot of those points come from those sign-on bonuses. A fourth mistake that people make with travel hacking is underutilizing the benefits of their card. So that can definitely come in the forms of many different things, but I'll give some examples. For example, 1, people don't realize that maybe the credit card that they have give them certain perks to get credit for certain things. So for example, there are many credit cards that give credit for TSA PreCheck, like your membership, global entry. They even give discounted or they pay in full your Clear membership, right? These are all things that you can benefit from. So a great example of that is like for me, I recently got a card, well, it was a little earlier this year, and that card gives me the perk of getting my global entry or TSA PreCheck covered by the form of a statement credit. So I can actually renew my global entry within 1 year of it expiring. So come February next year, which is obviously a couple months away, I'm actually going to use that card with my global entry renewal and then get that $100 application fee completely covered just by using the correct card. So for example, if I went and used another card, I would have been coming out of pocket $100 versus getting the statement credit to not have to pay anything upfront at all. Another benefit that people also underutilize a lot when it comes to travel credit cards is the power of transferring your points to airlines or hotels that these cards partner with. So I will give a perfect example of Chase and how you can basically use their transfer tool to be able to leverage getting flights for less points directly booking with the airline. So for example, Chase partners with different airlines, but I'll give JetBlue as an example. Let's say you were looking for a flight in the Chase portal and they were saying that a flight costs 10,000 points, right? So it will be, you can actually book a flight directly in the Chase portal if you like. But let's say you see that it's with JetBlue and you go to JetBlue directly, jetblue.com, you type in the same information as you're searching for a flight, and then the JetBlue website says that this same exact flight that you are going to book in Chase is actually 7,000 points, right? You can, instead of paying the 10,000 points in the Chase portal and technically overpaying by 3,000 points, you can actually transfer 7,000 of your Chase points directly to JetBlue, and it will then turn into 7,000 JetBlue points, TrueBlue points, and then you can book the flight directly with JetBlue and save that 3,000 points, right? So that's a very powerful tool when it comes to travel hacking and benefits that a lot of the different cards have. You want to make sure that you understand the different transfer partners. They have airlines and they also have hotels as well. One of the final tips I have for you today that you should absolutely avoid when you are travel hacking is canceling your credit card too early. So a lot of the times people, get the card and they think about like, oh, the annual fees coming up, yada. Again, this is another reason why I told you at the beginning that you need to be assessing the benefits for the cards that you are, using to travel hack, and also putting that reminder there that, hey, this annual fee is coming up. Let me kind of do an assessment for, do I still want to use this card for another year? What are the benefits, etc. But you don't ever want to just cancel a card even before the annual fee posts to your account. If you do want to not use the card anymore, you should at least wait the full year, which is when your annual fee is going to post, and then you can call into the credit card company and possibly ask them to downgrade your card to a no annual fee card. So this helps you in many different ways. One, you still keep the credit line open, right? So when you open the credit card, you got a credit limit for that credit card. So when you downgrade the card, you will still have access to that credit line, but then you won't have to be worrying about paying the annual fee anymore, right? So that's the second benefit. You get to downgrade, but then you keep the credit line open. And then 2, you don't have the annual fee anymore. And then I would say 3, you're still able to maintain like that relationship with whatever bank. So let's just say, Amex, for example. You don't want to start, getting cards and you're just canceling them left and right. It does not look good for your profile with these banks, okay? So you want to be careful with canceling cards too soon and, making sure that you are trying to find ways to still keep your relationship with the banks in good standing. And one great way of doing that is using the downgrade option, which is normally available for many of the credit cards that have annual fees. They more than likely would have a lower tier card that you don't have to pay an annual fee for. So you would want to consider that as well. That's all I have for you guys today, talking about mistakes that you need to avoid with travel hacking and reward travel. And honestly, travel hacking has been an amazing tool that I have been using for over 4 years to reduce my travel costs. And again, it can be beneficial to you once you use it wisely and you do your research and you are very smart on using these reward cards to get the benefits and travel for free.